G'day, I'm Kate Grarock. How are you? Today I am out in beautiful Yuin country and I'm off for a 3-day hike and I'm solo, so I'm just so excited to get out there and have an explore, see what wildflowers are around and explore a couple of cliff edges and just really enjoy myself here in the Budawangs. One of my favourites here in the Budawangs would have to be the Christmas bells. Check out these magnificent sundews. They're actually carnivorous plants, and so I don't know if you can see there, but little tiny insects get stuck on them and then they digest them. So it's sort of like a Venus flytrap, or like a very primitive form of it. It is beautiful. So the forecast for tonight is very shabby. It's meant to be a wicked thunderstorm coming through, but then I think tomorrow should be good. So hopefully I can just bunker down tonight and she'll be good for an explore tomorrow. So there's about 3 different options I've got today for where to camp tonight. Well, actually I've got 4. So I'm just trying to work out in my head. I guess it depends on how much water I've got, if I can go at a dry camp or not, and how good the view is, and how bad the storm is. So yeah, if the storm gets really gnarly, there's a camping cave I can duck down into, but I would love to be up on the cliff top because that's where, you know, you get those epic sunrise sunsets. Beautiful fringe lily. The wildflowers are bonkers. That's the castle there behind me, this little pig in a blanket. So there's this thick layer of cloud that's sort of coming down, and yeah, I'm thinking the thunderstorms are starting pretty soon, but this is a beautiful view. You're looking down in this valley and it's just so gorgeous. How bloody good's that? And I've got it all to myself, and there's unburnt forest. Wow. So sadly, or maybe excitedly, this is where we leave the trail. So I guess it depends on how thick the vegetation is, and we start doing a bit of off-track stuff. Hopefully it's not too hectic. See how we go. But I've just noticed way off in the distance you can see Angel Falls, and that's like a mad-ass waterfall that hangs off the back of the monolith valley. I love those moments when you're hiking, you can hear that distant thunder rumble and you're like, every ounce of your being is kind of saying, head back, head back. But we're gonna keep going. It shouldn't be too bad. Just at the moment where I think, oh yeah, the trail's not too bad, I start to, yeah, I curse myself and I lose it. So I think this might be a legless lizard. That was so cool. I think it was because of the ears. It was so crazy, like with the storm coming, it was like it got really still and really quiet, and now the wind's just starting to pick up and the birds are starting to make a bit more noise, and I think we're going to get some rain pretty darn soon. Well, I've made it to where I think I want to camp. This is a cracker of a view when there's no fog, but hopefully in the morning it'll lift and we'll get a bit of a stunning view. You know, typical me fashion rock ledge. So I'm going to struggle to find a spot to put the tent, but we'll work it out. Then after that, I think I'm going to have a little wander over. There's a creek over there and I might have a swim and perhaps a beer and yeah, just chill out for the arvo. I'm actually pretty knackered after all that bush bashing. Like I said, it shouldn't have been that much bush bashing, but so crazy in the Budawangs. Like, you know, this is sort of a bit of a goat track, like a wombat trail that you follow out here, but if you go like 5 meters off the trail, it's just like Alright, I just heard some pretty hectic thunder, so I think that's time for me to get my skates on, get the tent up, and yeah, I think we're going to get fogged in here, so it's just so magical watching it come over the cliff line. Anyway, let's get that tent up. Well, that was a pretty piss poor pitch of my tent. Got a bit windy, clouds were there, it's just sort of started to sprinkle with rain. It's dropping in temperature. Having fun. I had this beautiful plan to go to this little creek and have a swim. I think I still do that even though the weather's shitty, like can't get any wetter, right? So I'm kind of all holed up in my tent. I think that's just one of those things, you know, you plan a hike and you have this idea, hike out to this cliff top and have these beautiful views and, you know, sunset, and you can only see about 50 meters out there. They've got some pretty strong winds earlier, but I think hopefully just be a bit of rain now. We're sitting in a cloud, so I think there might be only one thing to do, and that's to crack a beer. Everything will feel a bit better once I have all my tent set up. Yeah, look, I think I still might hike out to that little creek line and have a swim, or maybe a bath off, get the stuff off me. But I know personally I always feel so much better once I've got my tent set up and everything's all nice and cozy, so I can come back here to my little safety. If it does get batshit nasty, there's a little cave that I can sort of drop down to if it doesn't get too wet and slippery off the cliff line, and then there's a cave. So, but I really love camping up high. Cheers. Thanks to my members. Alright, my nest is set up. I'm feeling much, much happier. Everything's good to go there. I'm going to wander over and have a little freshen up in the creek, take a couple of beers and just chill out. How beautiful is this place? It's so crazy. Like, I'm not sure if I experienced this, but because I'm in the cloud, it sounds so quiet and it dampens all the noise. It's really weird. But it is so beautiful. That walk was a heck of a lot further than I actually remember from last time. But finally, I think I can just hear, yeah, I can hear the water running. I can't wait for a little rubber dub. Bit of a clean up, get some of that ash off. It's gonna be great. Whoop! Jeez, I feel like Indiana Jones with the amount of cobwebs I've just walked through. I don't think I even care that it's raining right now. It's pretty spectacular. Good spot for a beer. Rightio, it's bath time, but I think this kind of a pool is screaming for a nudie swim, so I'm going to put you guys away because it's not that kind of channel. You know, I can't complain. I'm sitting on the cliff top having a beer. Cheers. Rightio, I've treated some water, I've had a little scrub-a-dub-dub and had a couple of beers watching the waterfall. It's time to head back to camp because it's getting pretty dark, I guess. When you're living in a cloud, life can be dark. So, maybe, just maybe, you guys can see that in the background. I think the clouds might be slightly parting, and you can see ditto Pigeon House Mountain. Good old Butterwangs clouded in. Had that happen a few times. I did that once in the Monolith Valley, and it was so scary I could hardly see like 20 metres in front of me, but there she is, ditto. How beautiful. Such special country. Just gonna sit up and have tea now. Hopefully the clouds keep removing themselves, and you never know. Is it too much to ask for? Get a little sunset. Look at that! Behind me is the castle. Otherwise known as Kuyoyo. And then over this way we have ditto. What? Pigeon House Mountain. I can't believe those clouds have parted. I just was resigned to sitting in my tent listening to a podcast and being a bit cold and miserable, but I'm so excited. Now tomorrow, I haven't really got any huge plans for tomorrow. I'm thinking I'm going to drop off the cliff line and go explore the mountain range. But yeah, I just don't know. I don't know, like, I guess it depends what the weather does, so we'll see how we go. But for now, dinner. Now, I'm just not winning camping today. I got a bit lost. I took a tumble. I've scratched my knee. Yep, great. And I didn't bring a spoon, so it's gonna be fun. But I'm cooking up some of my dehydrated stuff, and I've got a video that I'll link to up above about how to dehydrate your own food, so I'm going to have a crack at that. I normally just take the Radix because they're super easy to just dump in the water, but hey, I'll show you it's not that hard. Pretty happy. Right, yeah, so I've just boiled up some water, and what I'm going to do is do a bit of good old dead mashed potato. Whack it in a cup. Don't think I need that much, that'll do it. Just whack on the water. Give it a stir with my knife. Oh, yum, that smells good actually. Righto, I'll just let that sit there for now. It's pretty basic. Put the lid on him. And then I'm going to whack in. So this is my dehydrated spaghetti bolognese. So I'm just going to whack that in. Maybe give it another warm up just to help it defrost, rehydrate. A bit too much water in there. Always throw that. Cool. Yum. Just give it another warm up. Stir. So I made it really juicy so that I can drink it without my spoon. Yum. So I'm just having a squeeze at the map. I'm going to have a bit of a think about what I want to do tomorrow because I've got 3 days here. So, I mean, if the weather's looking good, I might sneak off the edge and head a bit more towards the castle. But it's a bit hard to tell what I should do. If it's going to be overcast and rainy, I don't want to go for the views. So maybe I'll pick my way along the cliff line. Well, I really can't complain about that day. You know, I'm out here in the Butterwangs. Yeah, it rained a little bit, but hey, checked out that amazing waterfall and that cool, holy moly, that legless lizard. I think that's what it was. Hopefully I can work out what it is when I get home. But I'm just so tired and happy. I think it might be time for bed. Good morning. I'm just sitting on top of my rock in amongst the clouds. listening to the bird song. It's so beautiful. So mad being here in the clouds. Like, I can sort of make out shapes of different mountains here and there when they move, but such a weird feeling. Well, the clouds are slightly parting. Got myself a nice cup of coffee. Life's good. Ha, hoo, ha. I just had a beautiful brekkie sitting in the clouds, and I think since we're not getting the epic sunrise, I might just start to pack up. Rightio, I'm all loaded up here. I've checked the campsite and left nothing behind, left no trace. As you can see, we're still very much in the clouds. I'm going to drop off the cliff now and see what it looks like down there. So I'm about halfway down the pass. So beautiful down here. Look at that tree. But we're not going that way, we're going to go through this, down this way. A couple of little camping caves along here. I like this cave. Might remember it for tonight. I dropped down off the cliff and I've been bush bashing for about an hour, and I'm in a bit of a tangle. Lawyer vine. I'm absolutely drenched. I'm thinking I might change my plan. I just don't have the spirit in me today to bush through this for another 3 hours. I really love these plants. They remind me so much of a sturt desert pea. I'm getting there. Just got to get my ass up this hill. It's given a good test of my foul raven pants. That's for sure. Oh yeah, got a foot. Yeehaw. Oh, bastard. Okay, almost there. I think I'm there. Yeah, boy. Woo. Halfway up this little bit. That should be fine. Then there's one more scramble to get to the top again. Back with my little friends. Yeah. Soon. This is why we like rock ledges, because they don't tend to have hectic regrowth. Where is that rock ledge? Woo! Alright, we've made the cliff line. Hopefully that'll make things a little smoother. just got to climb up this bit, up, around the boulder. It's not too bad, it's a bit painted on with a backpack on. Then there's that little bit of rope at the top there, and I think we're at the top. Woohoo! So the plan is I'm going to explore the cliff line back to that waterfall and then see if I possibly can keep following that cliff line around. So I'm just back at that little waterfall and I'm treating some water. Be sure that I have notified my people where I am. I'm not just wandering aimlessly without a track plan to let people know where to find me if I go missing. One of the reasons I actually did this hike is because I have a little bit of reception, because I'm waiting on a bit of news. Well, not yet, but my partner's actually pregnant, and so she's sort of due in about 4 weeks. So I just did not want to miss that in case the little bub comes early. A little crayfish in there. You can tell he's not a yabby because he's got spines on his actual claw. He's a bit cranky. It's okay, mate. I don't want to eat you. I'll leave him alone. Well, it wasn't pretty, but I certainly, got through this scrub and up here, and we're looking back on the waterfall. So pretty. If I can, I'm going to keep going. It's pretty fun. I haven't done a full-on explore for a while. That's where I camped last night, and then I've come all the way along this ridge past the waterfall and then around here. So now I'm up on the ridge. It's not so bad going. It's nice and open, rocky country, good views. There's a little pool up here on the cliff top. It's quite beautiful. Lots of little frogs. Wow. How amazing is that? Crinia signifera, I reckon. Common eastern froglet. So I've made it to the edge of the cliff, and this should be looking down over Pigeon House Gorge and out to Pigeon House Mountain, or Ditto. It would just be absolute glorious, but not to be today. It's sort of about noon. I don't think it's going to burn off, but you can get the glimpses of the little mountains in the background. It's quite beautiful. It gives a sort of a mystery to the environment. And oh my God, finding that little lake up there, that was so beautiful. And honestly can't complain. Like, look, I'm just hopping through wildflowers at the moment. It's pretty easy walking, a little bit rock hoppy, but it's much, much better than bashing through that old burnt banksia that I was doing before. So pretty happy. I'm gonna set up camp, I think a couple of Ks further along. You know, it's good when you're on hands and knees crawling. Oh dear. I'm going to keep going on for another 10 or 20 metres and then I might have to turn back, but keep doing this. Well, that just got a whole lot more gnarly than I'd hoped. My rock ledges ran out, or at least I missed where they went. I don't know. Hopefully it's only 200 more metres that way, but geez, in this stuff it's going to be, could be an hour, but half an hour I'll be there, half an hour. Whew. Oh my God, that nearly broke me. I think I just got too far down in the dead trees and branches, but I've come back up slope a little, and thank God, rocky platform. Hello from the swamp. Well, I've had an adventure. I'm filthy, and unfortunately my campsite turned out to be a dud. So I've just been reassessing things, and I found a very faint wombat trail / fire trail that heads back towards the car, and I'm thinking that could be a really cool idea. Yeah, I'll see if I can find anywhere else to camp along the way, but if it's all pretty shit, I might just pound it out and get back to the car. It's definitely been an adventure, a full body workout. My arms are sore. Why do I do this to myself? Why don't I just hike nice trails? I always swear wet vegetation is so much wetter than proper rain. Probably covered in leeches. I can feel things wriggling. Oh. How beautiful is this Christmas bell? Look at it. Yeah, this Christmas bell. It's epic. So interesting. This walk was really meant to be about the grand, beautiful views and, like, you know, just epic scenery, epic. And, you know, the fog, while I was a little bit disappointed, it actually forced me to stop and, you know, really focus on the close-up detail, and it was just something really bloody beautiful about that. You know, the wildflowers up here are just going nuts. I'm very cold and wet, and I think I'm going to be very, very happy hiker if I find that car. I just don't want to count my chickens till they hatch. This forest is so beautiful. I wish you could smell it. It's so fresh and crisp. Amazing. This is my fire trail I just popped out of. Yeah. Not much of a fire trail. Might have made it here just in time. The rain's starting to come down. I think those thunderstorms they predicted are cracking off pretty soon. I'm back at the car, and I don't think I've ever been so happy to get to the car. I am a drowned rat and I'm absolutely filthy. My pack, I was really impressed with that. Hey, like she, this first time out of the bag, and this material caught a lot of branches, scratching and hookups. and I don't think I've had any like little punctures or anything like that. It's pretty darn strong, and I'm very impressed with that. I sort of got to that, you know, when you get to that tired stage where you just don't even care about your gear anymore. It's like, must push through. Anyway, I'm very, very happy with that. What an amazing little adventure we had there. Gosh, like last night's camp, the view from up there was just beautiful. We didn't quite get the stunning, you know, sunrise, sunsets, but holy moly, anytime you're sort of sitting on one of those big cliffs in the Buttawangs looking out towards the castle and Pigeon House, you just can't complain. And you know, the fog sort of added to that mystery and really made me focus on the small things like the flowers and things like that. So it was really beautiful to check those out. And then that waterfall, it's just such a special place. And those lakes that we caught today on the headland there, they're just sitting up there right on the cliff edge. I am so excited to rip off these wet clothes and grab out my little tracky dacks I've got in my car bag and have a munch on some little snacks that I brought along. Thanks so much for watching and happy hiking. I'm pretty impressed with these two. These are my new Falraven. They used to be red.